Welcome to Hurley's Hobbies. So I'm going to show you how I do my Lightburn and my Neje Max 4 laser on my computer. This is my computer. I built this computer myself. I'm not a computer programmer or nothing like that. I just completely built it myself though. Um, it's my screen. So yeah, I have the PDF on CD. And so once I push it in, it should pop up on the computer. And I already have it on my computer, so I'm not going to reload it, but it's already on there. It's over here. So let's, now that it's loaded, it'll pop up and say, yes, you want to load it and stuff like that. So let's go on from there and I'll get onto the computer and show you Lightburn. So once you have your PDF downloaded, you're going to come over and open Lightburn. We'll double click on that. Lightburn will start. First of all, I want to say ignore this black screen up here. This is for my computer. It just tells me all my temperatures and stuff for my computer. So that has nothing to do with Lightburn. That's just my computer. So I want to open. Normally you would come over here, open file, import, and there's what I want. You click on that, click on it, and then it'll ask you what page you want. I am actually working on the wings right now. So I want page 3, and we'll put OK, and then that'll come up. So now I don't want it over top of my work area, so I'm going to grab the center. If you grab any of these other outside squares around here, it's going to resize it. So you don't want to grab none of those. So I'm going to grab that, left click it, and I'm going to move it over, and then let go. And then I'll click that, click off of it, left click, and I'm going to move around here. So I'm going to move it to the center of my work area, and I can zoom in by moving my mouse, and I can move it how I want it. What I'm interested in is the wings. So just move it around until you're comfortable with what you got. And we'll come back over here, left click my arrow, and I want to take this one. So you try to grab it as best you can without grabbing nothing else, and we'll pull that one out and set it down here and click off of it. And then I want the first balsa one, big one. And see, I didn't get it right, so I'm going to go back and pick it up, get in the center, pull it down there. I'm going to zoom back out because I want to get rid of the rest of this so it's out of my work area. Because you see the green dot over here, right here? My laser will recognize that. So if you leave that on there, even though your cutting area is over here, my laser will try to shoot off to this whole area. So that's why I get rid of it. It's not hard to pick it back up again. So I'll just right click and delete that. And so that's all gone. Now I'll go up here and pick my area. And we'll click on the arrow so we can highlight it. And I'm going to pull this up. Now I'm going to take it onto my work area. We'll pick this one up. Pull this onto the work area. Okay, there's a few things we want to do here. The first thing is I don't want this red line in there. So to grab onto the red line that comes up, grab it, left clicking, pull up, let off, then I'll right click and delete. So I didn't want that in there. I don't want this one in here. So I'll grab this one, pull it down, right click, delete. I don't want the center line in there, and it might come out in one, and sometimes it comes out in a few pieces. I want to delete that. And another thing, before I get too far, I want to go over here into File. Maybe it was Edit. Oh, right here, delete duplicates, because a lot of times you put PDFs on here, there's actually multiple prints on top of each other. So we'll see how many prints are on here. There's no duplicates found. You should actually do that in the beginning, but I forgot. So I usually forget and remember later. So now there's 2 circles in here. And and if you like click on it and go down, it should highlight the whole thing. And if you go up here, and I'll switch this over to millimeters, it says 34.8 millimeters. So you need to decide which size wing tubes you want. Because right now you can shrink it by just changing these numbers. You can change these numbers and shrink it down. See how it shrinks? But I'm going to leave it where it's at. And the same thing with this one. If you know what size wing tube, maybe you have one already and that's the size wing tube you want, you have to go through every one and you can resize it. Now I don't want this inside one, so I'm going to zoom in by rolling my wheel on my mouse. And I'm going to grab that one. I'm going to right click and delete that inside one. I don't want 2 of them. Click that one. Delete that one. So now I have all of that done. The first thing I want to do is I want to move these letters around. I don't want to leave them there, and I got to highlight them. And I can grab that, and I'm going to move it. I'm going to move it actually over here in between. Now I'm going to take this one, and I'm going to put that one in the middle. And while you have them highlighted, you can come down. I like red for just like engraving or just to highlight it. I like to use the red one. So you click on the red and see how it popped up over here in your cut layers. And I'm going to re-highlight this one. Come down, red. Okay. Now the inside, you're going to want to cut those first. See how I didn't get on it? Now if I would go from the left, I'm sorry, from the right here. If I pull from the right, the lower right, or in the upper right, you pull right to left, it'll highlight the whole thing. And I want to use blue for that. See if let's say here, I clicked here and I went down like that and I didn't grab the whole circle, it doesn't want to grab it. But if you grab the left, I'm sorry, if you grab from the right, I keep hitting the wrong button here. Grab from the right and pull up, you don't have to, it'll grab whatever was in there. Hopefully I explained that good enough. Because if you pull from the left down or left up, you got to cover the whole area of that. But if you pull from the right, you don't have to cover the whole thing and the whole thing get highlighted. But the problem is, if you pull and you hit this too, it'll highlight this too. Or if you hit this line down here, it'll highlight that line too. So you got to be careful with it. Okay, so I got to come back up here. First I'm going to move this out of the way. Move this, I'm going to put it here. We're going to highlight that red. I want these in blue. I want this in blue. Now these are your wing areas where it says it can be cut, but you don't want to cut it now. So I want to highlight it, but I want it a little bit deeper than just highlighting like with the red. So I'm going to go green. So I'm going to click on it. See how I brought up the whole thing? You don't want that. So just try to come from this side and see how it just highlighted what I want to highlight. And I'm going to go green with that. So now I have all of these, but I don't want these lines. I don't want my laser to cut through on the black layer, cut through these and cut these tabs off for building. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here and grab the scissors. And let's see if it'll let me take those out. Yep. See, let me take that one out. 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 And I can't see with my thing here, so I'll move that up out of the way. We'll take that one out. Okay, I'll go back up here. And there is, we're pretty much all set. Everything's done. Check the size of the circle here real quick. I got 27. Right here, I got 34.8. I want to go a little bit bigger to make sure I got clearing to get my wing tube in there. So, because I'm going to do a sleeve on the wing tube. So now I'm going to zoom back out. And I'm going to move these over just a little bit out of the way. Because I want to arrange them on my table. So now I want to make a square. I'm just going to drag a square down like this. And I'm going to want it in inches. And I want to go exactly 36 by 4. And you see how that resized that? And so now I'll come up here to my arrow and I got that. Now I want to highlight this one. Go up here to arrange. And I want to rotate that. Rotate it. I don't want it right there. Rotate it again. I always seem to go the wrong way. Rotate it again. That's how I want it. So I grab by the middle so I don't resize it. I'm going to place that inside there like that. So now I want to grab this one. I'm going to arrange it, rotate that one. We're going to grab that and pull that over there. And there we go. So now that's in our cut area. But now I have to come over here and do my layers. What layer, how I want to do my layers. Like the first layer I want to cut, is my red. So I'm going to move it up to be the first one. I want it to be one pass at 65% and 20 is okay. Then I want my blue layer. So I want to click on the blue. I want it to cut all the way through. So I'm going to go 5. And then the speed, I'm going to take that to 50. Oh, wrong way. Or I can just go like that, back, and go 5, enter. And then take 50. So like this, backspace, 100, enter. And then click off of it. So that changed up there. I want to go green next. The green, I want 1. I'm going to go 50-50. Go back, 50. Click on this one. Back, 50. I don't want it to cut all the way through, but I want it to be there. Then I'm going to go black, black, go 5. And then on the speed, take it down to 35, power 100. Okay, I'm gonna go back and double check these. $65. Okay. So now I want to come up here to this little TV screen up here, and we can preview the cuts. I don't know if it'll make this bigger. Yeah, it will. And so I got the speed set there, and that's hit play, and it's going to preview every cut. And I don't want to leave this line on here, this outside line, the square box. So I'm going to take the square box off. So I'm going to pause it, click OK. I want to hit this right here. I want to pull it off, and I want to delete that because I don't want to leave that box on there. And let's preview it again. I'll speed it up a little bit faster. There we go. That's our preview. So now I need to turn my laser on. My homing is back here in this corner because that's where the sensors are. But when I start it, I figured out it's easier to leave it up here and then home it, because if you leave it back there and home it right away, it does weird stuff. It wants to jump around. So I found out if I leave it here or even here, it's better. So I'll go on the screen here. I'll hit the center button there. My laser, pick the laser head up. And then I'll bring it back to the front. It's sat in the front, framed out. So now I'm going to shut my enclosure. I do have my air assist on. It is running. And I will set my camera up in front of it. And I will push start. Okay, I wanted to talk a little bit about my laser. This is a Neje Max 4. I got the expansion kit for it. Um, on my Z-axis, I have not been using the computer settings. I've been setting the laser myself to the height. Um, I just feel more comfortable with that for now. This enclosure, I made it. I use MBS, and it comes MBS. This MBS comes 49 inches wide. It's 5/8 MBS. So each side is set in 5/8 of an inch. If I had it to do over again, I would set it the MBS and attach it to the side to give myself a little bit more room in here. Because this side's almost butted tight to the enclosure, and this side maybe has an inch and a half. At this side, inch and a quarter. So then if I moved it out that 5/8, it would give me that much more room. It would give me another inch and a quarter. So if I did it again, I would set it on the outside of this. And the enclosure this way, on the inside, I have it at 42 3/4. The outside, 44. I have to the rails, I have 3.5 in the front and 3.5 in the back, and that still allows me room for the this to go. I did buy an aftermarket cord. I believe this cord is like 20 feet long, just so I made sure I had plenty of, because it was like almost the same price if you got a 10 footer or a 15 footer or a 20 footer, and I got that from Amazon. I have it screwed down into the deck here. I have an 1.5 inch hole here, 1.5 inch hole in this corner. That's where my light cord runs through. And then I probably have 2.5 by 1.5 inch hole here in the middle where all my stuff runs through. My pump is down under here on a shelf. And I only have one 4-inch draft hose back here to suck out. And then I have my blower over here, and then I have my ductwork, and it goes out the window out here through some foam. You can see it just goes through some foam. It doesn't leak. I mean, I made sure it didn't leak. And I actually have another piece of foam, small piece of foam, sitting on the top to make sure no air comes in that way. This light here I picked up at Walmart. I think it was like 20 bucks. Back to the duck fan. I got this one off Amazon. It was like 20 bucks. It doesn't have no speed control or nothing on it. It's not very powerful, and when more and more I use it, the louder it does get. It is a pretty loud fan. The air pump, I got the air pump from Amazon also, and the tip that comes with your air hose, it goes bigger. It did not really, I had a hard time getting the little suctional hose that came with my air pump to plug into it because it's bigger. But it did, the Neje Max 4 did come with goes from the small to a bigger one. I do have my this came with the kit. When I bought it from Neje Max 4, I bought the expansion kit with the laser, and it came with this. I didn't get the air pump, which I probably should have. They probably got a better air pump. And like I say, it just fits inside this closure. I did put some glass up here. Got this off of Amazon. I got 2 pieces. Make sure you get the transparent glass. Don't get the solid glass. I have mine up off the floor. It's like almost 3 foot 4 inches to the bottom right here. And then I have a 2-foot hinge up here. Actually, it's a 30-inch hinge. 30-inch hinge. I got this off of Amazon. now I realize for the same price I could have got 4 1-foot pieces of hinge, and it probably would have been better because then the hinges would have went all the way to the sides. Um, I did get that off Amazon. I do have this setting up on little 5/8 inch MBS blocks in the four corners screwed down. Um, I think it is too low setting in here. It needs to be lifted up a little bit. So if you just screw this right straight to a spoil board, you're probably not going to like it because you won't get as much movement out of your Z-axis. Um, I do like it. I like the laser. The only thing I notice is I get a lot of debris on the wheels. I don't know if it's from cutting, and also on the fans. Here, let me move it up a little bit. You might be able to see it. You can see on the fans here, I've been cleaning them. And I take the nozzle tip out and I clean the nozzle with alcohol. To set up the laser, I just followed what other people have done online. And if you go to Neje Max, you can get if you go to the expansion itself, if you look at through the accessories, and it'll give you the software for the expansion, because I wasn't getting it to work by just changing the settings on Lightburn. Then I realized I had to update the software and on the board itself here. But there, you don't need no other um, code or nothing. You just need the Lightburn and the laser, and Lightburn will automatically go right straight to the laser. It might go through G code, but the G code comes with Lightburn. So, and Lightburn, I think it was like $99 the one I bought, and I think it can go on like 2 or 3 computers. And if you got the pro version of it, I think it could go on 5 computers, but I don't think you get anything else, any more tools on your toolbars. I could be wrong. Like I said, I've never had the pro, so. But you can upgrade at any time to the pro, and it's a lifetime. It's not annually where you pay a one time for Lightburn. But then if you upgrade to pro, it's $199, and it's still a lifetime. So, but there it is. If you like what you're seeing, please like, subscribe, and share. And we'll see you on the next one.